If you're thinking about moving to Tucson, Arizona, or more specifically, Oro Valley, Arizona, you're gonna wanna stick around for today's video because I'm gonna share with you some of the major troubles that people have with Oro Valley, as well as what some of the draws are. Let's get to it. If you're new to this channel and want to learn everything from A to Z about living in Tucson, AZ, then click subscribe and tap that bell for notifications so you can be the first to learn about the current market in Tucson, Arizona. Hi, I'm Dustin Smith. My wife Jennifer and I have helped hundreds of people just like you move to and from Tucson, Arizona. So whether you're planning on moving in 12 days, 12 weeks, or 12 months, we got you covered. Give us a call, shoot us a text or an email, and we'll help you make that smooth move to Tucson. All right, for today's video, we're gonna start off by covering what and where Oro Valley is for those that aren't familiar. From there, we're gonna get into what the drawbacks are. So I know a lot of times we start off with everything that is glorious first, but I know a lot of people are wondering like, what is it that I need to be worried about if I'm deciding to move to this suburb? So we'll get into the drawbacks, we'll get that out of the way for you right away. And then we're gonna finish with what are the pros, what are the draws, what pull people into Oro Valley, what are they gonna like about it? So yeah, let's get into it. Where and what is Oro Valley? So if you're not quite familiar with what and where Oro Valley is, or if you're just interested in how we would put it, Oro Valley is a major Tucson suburb, and it's gonna be north and west of the majority of Tucson, mainly like directly north of like downtown Tucson area, by about like 30 to 40 minutes. And then we're gonna be west of the Catalina mountains, so off east right here. Looks like we got a little rain cloud that might come in, hopefully cool things down. It is pretty hot right now. This is all Catalina mountains off over here. So, I mean, we've got a bunch of mesquite trees around here. We've got saguaros, palo verdes. I saw some prickly pears around here too. Just a lot of, different desert plants up here. But when you start getting into those mountains, they start climbing up. You probably can't see it on the camera right there, but I can literally see like the tree line on top. Those are gonna be pine trees up there. So you'll get into the junipers and then up into the pines over there. Definitely gorgeous. So yeah, a lot of people think of Oro Valley as bordering that, being north of Tucson, north of Casas Adobes, and also east of Marana. So east of I-10, in from I-10 towards the mountains by about 15 minutes as well. So definitely a location that captures a lot of beauty. All right, con number one, drawback number one, it is actually one of the more expensive areas to move to. So there's definitely suburbs around Tucson that are a little more affordable. You're gonna find more affordable housing, but there's a good reason for that. A lot of times when you see higher priced homes, there's usually some sort of draw that people want, something that creates a little more competition and pushes housing prices up a little bit. So, if you're really focused in on, getting, more square footage for your money, Oro Valley might get knocked down a little bit for you. Drawback number two. Now, you might have heard other people talk about this one if you've watched pros and cons video or one of our older pros and cons videos about Oro Valley. But Oro Valley is incorporated as its own city, and they have their own police force, and they are well known for handing out traffic tickets. If you get a warning or instead of a citation out here, it's actually a pretty rare thing. People refer to it as kind of, ruthless. You get out there, you get a traffic ticket. Hasn't been a problem for me. I'm not out here every day though, and I think the highways are pretty reasonable as far as what it is going up the 77 up north. The speed limits, the traffic lights, all that seems to flow pretty well in my opinion. You've got 3 lanes headed both directions for the Highway 77 right there, and La Cholla has good flow to it too. So the major roads going through really relieve traffic. You just got to be a little bit patient. If you're in a hurry or if you're driving irresponsibly, they're gonna probably catch you and you're probably gonna get a ticket for that. It's gonna be an issue at some point. If you've got a lead foot and you go fast, you know, or Oro Valley is probably a place that you should second guess, or you're gonna have to include traffic tickets in as part of your budget. All right, third con. Now this is probably one you've heard other people talk about, you know, especially if you've watched other, you know, pros and cons videos for Oro Valley. It's gonna be that the town seems to shut down early. Now that might catch you off guard if you moved out here and you're from a bigger city or even from other areas of Tucson. And you know, a great example of that is gonna be like Jennifer and I were up here for a wedding last year, good friend's wedding, and you know, they provided dinner and everything, and we had a lot of fun. You know, after the party, after all the dancing was done, we were on our way back to, you know, our hotel, and we were trying to find something to eat, and everything had closed down at 9 and 10 o'clock. So we were hunting down stuff, not even McDonald's was shut down. So we did find a restaurant, but we really didn't have a lot of options out here. The town really does shut down early out here. All right, con number 4. You know, we plug this into pretty much all of our cons for any of the suburbs around Tucson. It is still hot up here. I mean, it's a slightly higher elevation than the majority of Tucson, so it is gonna be a little bit cooler. And I'm kind of lucky today. It still feels hot, it's a little muggy, but we had some rain that came through yesterday and cooled it down. And we even have a little bit of cloud cover here and there, so that's also helping out. We got a high of 92 today, but you know, if you don't have to be outside, you're probably not gonna wanna go outside much during the summer. You're gonna plan your outings for probably early morning or evenings when it cools down, if you don't have to leave the house. And also, you know, if you do have to leave, you're probably gonna wanna make sure that you got a good air conditioner, you know, in your vehicle, and that you got air conditioning where you're going or something to cool down. So yeah, that's gonna be a big one with all of our cons. It's still hot. There's no real escaping that in the Tucson area. Maybe going up Mount Lemmon, because it will drop like 30 degrees going up to the top of Mount Lemmon. All right, con number 5, and I don't think I've seen this on anybody else's channel yet, but I think it is something worth considering, and it may just be if you're visiting or going up to the Oro Valley area where it's more of a consideration. I mean, even if you live here, you might be doing your shopping elsewhere, so getting right into that, I already hinted at it, right, the shopping part. It's gonna be sales tax, right? So Oro Valley, as its own incorporated city, does have their own sales tax. So that's gonna be 3% above what you see like for just like your regular county and state sales tax. So it brings a total up to about 9.1 for the sales tax. So that can definitely make a difference about how you spend your money, especially big purchases. You might actually be leaving the city to go do that. At least, you know, Costco is actually technically over Marana, so you'll save a, you know, percentage there or so. So yeah, sales tax as a downside, second highest sales tax rate in the Tucson area. All right, that's all I really came up with for major, you know, cons for Oro Valley, and I'm sure there's more. A lot of those are going to be neighborhood specific, but if you can think of like a general downside to living in Oro Valley, throw that in the comments. I mean, just putting a comment out there tends to help the channel and let people know that other people are engaged with the channel and watching it, and YouTube might put it in front of someone else who finds it useful. So yeah, let's get into the benefits right here. So benefit number 1, you probably already guessed it. I'm out here enjoying the scenery myself, making sure that you guys got a good backdrop. I'm gonna say the views. So views are amazing out here in Oro Valley. Now, we're especially gonna focus in on the mountain views. Everybody's gonna rave about Push Ridge out here. People are gonna fight for real estate that has views of Push Ridge. It's just, you know, in a gorgeous ridge in the Catalina Mountains. But you basically, since you're to the west of the Catalina Mountains, if you have a backyard that's facing east, you're looking out towards this mountain range. You're enjoying this mountain range from your backyard, and that is something that really pulls people in. In fact, they have their own slogan for the Oro Valley area. If the mountains turn pink, it's time to drink. So that's, you know, that's cocktail hour. You know, depending on what time the sun's going down, that changes throughout the year. But it's not just views of the mountain, of course. Speaking of pink, it's gonna be those sunsets, and the sunsets are just epic throughout the Tucson area. People always talk about that. Some of the dust that gets into the areas to the west of here when the sun goes down just create a just gorgeous kind of red glow. And you combine that with the type of clouds that we have, the normally like clear skies, the amount of sun that we get really, I think we have just world-class, some of the best sunsets in the world in the Tucson area. And you just get to enjoy the way that that reflects from the west over onto the east, the mountains into the east. Oro Valley is unique in that sense. All right, and for the second big benefit of Oro Valley, you have access to Catalina State Park. The front entrance into Catalina State Park is in the Oro Valley area. So if you like this park, if you like these mountains and the trails that come through here, which I know there's a major one that I love that'll take you up to some waterfalls, so Romero Pools. That's a ton of fun just to go swimming, or if you like cliff jumping, a little bit extra adrenaline, you can go, do a little bit of cliff jumping into some of the pools when we got running water after a good monsoon, which hopefully we get hit with soon, or after some snow melt too, if you're okay with that colder water. So yeah, that's going to be a huge thing. These trails really weave all throughout the Catalina Mountains, all the way to northeast Tucson, the Rincon Mountains. So you've got state land, national forest, national park, all connected through these various trails where you'll only ever see other people on foot, or maybe cross by where they might have like a ranger station along the way. All right, pro number 3 is actually going to tie right into Catalina State Park, just other recreation, outdoor recreation opportunities as well. So Oro Valley does have some beautiful golf courses. So if you enjoy golfing, you're not going to have to go far. You're going to have multiple choices in Oro Valley. You can also go over to like Dove Mountain in Marana access. There's also another big one over in Casas Adobes, a couple more throughout. Tucson has a ton of golf courses. So if you're a golf person in general, that's going to be a big pro for you. We got year-round golf in Tucson. You also have the Oro Valley Aquatic Center. So as a resident of Oro Valley, you'll have access to that. So, great swimming area, fitness center. They're really trying to justify the whole Oro Valley as a city concept, and they're doing a great job. The city's doing hard work to just really offer some extra benefits to the residents of Oro Valley and really build up its reputation as a great place to live. All right, pro number 4, I put this down as a variety of housing types out here. So it's not just your single family homes out here. Of course, you do have some, beautiful master plan communities in the Oro Valley area, Cañada Hills and Rancho Vistoso being 2 of the big ones out there. But you also have, townhomes and condos for a little bit more affordable living. You also have some beautiful ranch homes out here. So stuff on a little more property where you can still have horses. You've got some just amazing luxury homes, some luxury communities out here as well. So really there's something for everyone out here. All right, for pro number 5, I put shopping on here. And I think this is an important one to cover for the Oro Valley area because there is a lot of shopping within the Oro Valley area to take advantage of. So of course you have mom and pop shops all over the place. You also have grocery stores all over the place. You have all your day-to-day needs, automotive, salons, all of that stuff, easy access in the Oro Valley area. On top of that, they also have Steam Pump Ranch out here, which is a place where they do farmers markets every weekend. So if you enjoy getting like local produce, meeting some people out of your community, it's definitely like a big social thing, a great way to meet people of your community and get some local produce, because I know more and more people are getting into that all the time. And I think that's a great thing. All right, pro number 6, I think is an important one too. Speaking of, Oro Valley as its own suburb, I mean, you really have quick access to the best parts of your other suburbs as well. If you want to get to downtown Tucson, probably a half an hour from most places in the Oro Valley area, maybe even less. If you want to get over to Marana, the Costco, maybe like 20 minutes over to that Costco, or if you really want like some more of like your upscale stuff in the foothills, I mean, you're adjacent to all of those suburbs. So you got quick access over the foothills to enjoy their resorts, their golf courses, their restaurants, going over there to enjoy like Sabino Canyon or get up into the Catalina Mountains, Mount Lemmon over there. I mean, you really do have a lot of access from here in Oro Valley. So yeah, that's gonna be a big one, distance to, downtown Tucson, the Catalina foothills and Marana. All right, so that's all I have for you guys for today's pros and cons video. I know I fell one short on the cons over the pros. Call me an optimist. I see, I see that there's more upsides than downsides to living in Oro Valley. It really is a beautiful area. I hope you found this video useful or liked it. If you did like it, make sure to hit that like button. If you haven't already, click subscribe and tap that bell for notifications. We'll do our best to keep you updated on the current market in Tucson, Arizona. And of course, if you or someone you know is thinking about moving to Tucson, give us a call, shoot us a text or an email. We'd love to help you make that smooth move. And thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on the next video.